Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of CCG Poker TV. $27,500 free roll final table. Brandon's pointing at the text so that I know what to say.
Well, you were like, I don't even know what to say. And then sure enough, your intro just shows up on the screen.
$27,500 given away. This is a 5-month process. January, February, March, April, May. Top 5 tournament winners. Top 5 cash game hours loggers.
Yep. Per month.
Which is why Sal's wearing a lumberjack shirt.
I don't know.
We love it. See some regular faces here.
Yeah, I see Joel back to defend his title in the one. Is that the two?
The 3 seat, but second player from the left of the dealer. First hand, we're already rocking and rolling. Blinds are 6,000, 12,000. They've been playing for what, about 3-4 hours at this point?
Yeah. We started at what, 1?
We got Brian in the chip lead at 418,000. Ben and John sitting at right at 250. Lance at 250. Joel's at 200. Joel is our winner from last year. He won the main event seat last year. Remember, folks, this is for 2 main event seats. 2 players from these 7 are going to go to Vegas, courtesy of CCG Poker and the hosting charities. Everybody's excited. I'm excited.
All regulars.
All regulars.
Well, that's the good thing about a free roll, is it rewards the regulars.
Yep. You got Dan the Ghost over there in the 8 seat.
So what do we got? We got 4 cash game winners and 3 tournament winners.
Yeah. I think the final table is pretty split, half and half of cash game players versus tournament players, meaning they qualified via the tournament side or the cash game side. And that was a whole big argument last year. Not an argument, but a discussion last year about who was a better tournament player, the tournament players or the cash game players.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out.
I guess we are.
First flop we've seen, 6-9-6.
Oh, pretty good flop for Joel.
Not a bad flop for Joel. Again, Joel was our winner from last year. Pretty incredible to win a main event seat last year, play again this year, make it to the free roll, which is a accomplishment on its own, then to make it to the final table, again, huge accomplishment on its own, and then to make the TV final table, which means he's down to the last 7.
Everybody's in the money.
Everybody's in the money. Worst case they're walking away with here is $500. Then I think third and fourth get 1,000 in kind of credits and cash, and then the 2 first place prizes, first and second place winners, are going to each get an $11,000, $500 main event package to go to the WSOP here in a few weeks,
which is going to break the record.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, because the numbers have been massive.
And did you see the promo that they're doing?
No.
If they break the record,
okay,
they're gonna randomly draw one person from the main event and give them main event seats for life.
What?
30 years of main event seats, but so somebody's gonna bank a $300K.
$300K
in tournament packages just randomly in the field.
That's amazing.
I like Joel because he's sporting the IU jacket.
He's an IU guy. You got Vanderbilt Lance there in the 3 seat. You got fake Brian in the 4 seat. He likes to go by Pat's brother.
Yep.
Electric Dave.
Electric Dave.
Right there in the middle.
Everyone's got a little nickname.
Yep. And then next to him is Greek John.
Yep.
And then Ben Chen, but everybody calls him Buchu.
Buchu.
Which he hates. But I think we just misspelled his name one time.
Oh, it was Mark. Mark back in the day, his N's looked like W's. So it's, instead of B-E-N, it was B-E-W, and then C-H-E, not N, C-H-E-W again. So Buchu.
Oh, I didn't know how that
that's how it started. So I put him on the initial thing as Buchu, and then he comes in and he's like, I think that's me. The W's are really N's. My name's Ben.
Joel's in a little bit of trouble here. He flopped top pair, but so did Lance. Lance got him out kicked with the jack and a gut shot. Joel's betting into him, though, $50K. And a big shove there.
Man,
and
snap
a call. Oh, no, Joel. Joel's going to need a 7 here to stay alive, or running 10s or 9s. 4's not going to do it. Lance ends up with 2 pair. And Joel is crippled. Am I allowed to say that still?
Yeah, crippled is a perfectly legal word to use in the poker world.
He is down to his...
pennies.
Pennies on the dollar here, folks. Lance takes a nice big chip lead. He might be the chip leader now.
And then we got the Ghost Dan in the rounding out the 8 seat, or the 7 seat, or whatever.
Yep. Ben sitting in the middle. John sitting in the middle.
I always think of Lance Armstrong when I think of Lance.
Oh, Dan's the Ghost.
Dan's the Ghost.
I was like, who's Dan? Dan's the Ghost. Yeah. Which is the best nickname of all time.
Yeah.
Dan took like a year break, and he's an older gentleman, so we were nervous.
It might have been 18. Might have been long. It was like 18 months.
He disappeared, and then he just strolls in. We are all like, "Well, Dan must be dead."
Right. The only way he's going to stop going to CCG.
Came every event for like a year and a half. Like we saw him every day, 2:00. He'd stay to the end. Dan also not only has the coolest nickname of all time, he has the best response to security of all time. Dan does not want to be walked out with security because he never has any money when he's leaving. He goes, I need to be walked in with security. That's the only time I have any money. He's amazing. He's amazing. And pretty damn good player, too. All in from John. After an all-in... Oh, no, all-in to call. All-in from John. Small blind, big blind.
Dave completed, and then John just stuffed it on him.
Yeah, with an ace. He's a cash game guy. Dave's a cash game guy.
Yeah,
Brian's a cash game guy.
So we really just have Joel in the 2, Lance in the 3, and then... Ben for the tournament.
Yeah, so it's 4-3. 4-3 on cash game players versus tournament players.
I need one quick more Ghost Dan story since, he never makes it into the tournament side of our production here since he's a cash game guy. He was running chips. He came up for 300 in chips, and I was working the bangs. We were so busy, Aaron was dealing. And he's like, 300, Brandon. And I give him 300 green. I'm like, good luck, Dan. He goes, oh. He's like, this isn't for me. He's like, I got about 2 G's in front of me. I'm just running chips for somebody else because we got no chip runners. But thanks for the nice sentiment,
thanks for
though.
This, yeah.
I was like,
thanks for just assuming they're my chips.
He's like, oh, I got about 2 G's in front of me.
Joel's down to 4 big blinds. Dave's down to 6 big blinds. And Dan's sitting there right at the 11 number.
Yeah, 11's fine right now.
Yeah. 6,
the big
12.
blind Annie kind of pops him a little bit here once he goes through the blinds.
Yeah,
one more
I think
time.
We're at like 40-minute levels.
Yeah,
40-minute levels. So nothing to worry about, except the fact that you're 7-handed. It does go quite quickly.
Nice to see Marty back in the background.
Marty's back. He helps out later with the tournament clock.
Nice.
Lance looking up and down with the suited ace.
I guess we actually have to look at the cards and announce poker, huh?
Not really.
25K, a little 2.1x, which is probably the standard here.
Yeah, it was a little bit smaller on the raises, kind of playing.
Well, I think everybody's stack's a little shallower at this point, so you don't really need to make it 3x when 2.1 is going to probably accomplish the same thing. All right, Lance flops an ace.
Ben didn't flop much here. Was looking for diamonds.
Bunch of back doors for Ben. Lance continues. Ben gives it up, and here we go.
I like the float, though, with the 6-5.
Yeah. Somebody's got to play the bottom of the deck.
Somebody's got to play those ranges. Otherwise, they just assume you play good cards all the time.
This VPIP, Dan's VPIP is not indicative of his actual VPIP. He just hasn't gotten anything yet.
On the table itself, he has not voluntarily put in any chips yet.
Nope.
All right, Joel, get a winner here. 93 is not going to do it.
Ace-4 off from Lance. He is the chip leader. He also has a shorty in the big blind, but he's going to go for it. This is a little bit of a loose open.
Yeah, pretty crappy cards, though. It's probably going to get all the way through. Looks like it already has. Back to Joel, who's looking at 9-3. Kind of hard to do it for your tournament life on 9-3.
Ace-4 is just a tough spot there because you're going to have to call a shove from Joel, and it's probably going to be a 60-40, and now you're all of a sudden putting in 60K with 4 clubs in your hand to try and knock a guy out from under the gun.
Right.
But when Joel has 9-3 off...
Works out well.
He looks like a genius.
Works out well. Lumberjack making the rounds here. Chucking out some cards.
Got to see if he still plays with the muck.
We'll find out.
We will.
Joel's down to 2 big blinds now.
Brian under the gun open with a mystery hand. It's that darn 4-seat sensor.
Lance with a suited connector. Ben's gone. Joel looking at an ace. I don't think you're getting any better than that.
Nope.
You're just going to put it all in for 34,000. Lance is going to look him up for another 22 with his 8-7 suited.
Little risky here from Lance. If Brian has a real hand, he can get squeezed out here.
But it's only 22. I get it. I mean, you might be able to knock a player out here.
Yep. It's just gauging whether Brian is going to take the conservative approach here and try and knock a guy out, or decide to get this thing heads up with a player at risk. And Brian's going to come along.
Yeah, come along for the ride. Mystery hand. We still don't know what Brian's got. There it is. Pocket tens.
So that's kind of the hand that...
you could have opened there.
He did open, but
well, you know what
squeezed.
I mean. Yep. King 4 deuce. Tens are still live.
No
All
hearts. No hearts.
Nobody's got a heart except on the board.
Yeah.
So Joel's got heart outs. Joel's going to need an ace here to make any damage or a running wheel. Brian bets into it, which I like. Shows the tens, shows an ace. Down to 16% here for his tournament life. Can he do it 2 years in a row?
Heart.
Needs a heart for a chop. Oh, running jacks. Eliminated Joel. 7th place in this one. Still an incredible run.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Man's a tournament player.
You keep showing up at CCG and making final tables for WSOP main event seats. You're going to probably do all right.
I don't hate it, as the kids say. Down to 6. Last out's getting called out. All right, chip count, half a million for Lance. That's about all I got.
It's funny. Dave probably is more comfortable off of this 8 big blind stack and this deep in the tournament. It's kind of easy.
I know I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to do. You don't have to get goofy. You don't have to do anything funny with King 4 of hearts.
Right. Lance has to play the big stack with King 4 hearts in the small blind.
You can easily play that.
Right. Or 3-bet because you can put the pressure on bet. And there's just endless outcomes when you're the chip leader. But in Dave's spot, it's kind of look down at a good hand and shove, look down at a bad hand and fold.
Dave and Dan have not raised pre-flop as of yet. Everybody else has gotten into the mix a little bit. 17 minutes left on this blind level. There's plenty of time to get in there, folks.
Going quick. I feel like we're pumping out hands here.
Yeah, they're playing quick. We haven't seen very many flops. All right, Lance with the only real hand. John with the 10-9 suited. Under the gun. He raised. I like it. Food runner coming out. Folds around to Dave. Hasn't gotten any cards yet. And he's the big blind again. Just no bueno. Just Lance and John.
Yep.
Flops to 10. 1 club.
Pretty good flop for John.
That's a good flop.
Keep the
35.
Keep the betting lead and continue for 25?
35. $35,000 bet coming into Lance. Didn't catch much of that flop. It's pretty much John's game.
Yep.
Aggressive. When he's in the pot, he's betting.
Yep.
You always have to worry about
multiple streets.
You're not getting a lot of
check back.
You're gonna get a lot of checks out of John. Weird colors at St. Andrews. It's at St. Andrews Golf Course. We're there this Friday, tomorrow actually. Be nice. It's a great tournament spot, and it was a pretty solid cash game spot last week.
For our first time back since pre-COVID. All right, Lance in the cutoff mucks. Brian probably going to muck that in the on the button. Dave's all in.
Sadly, 10-8 is the best hand Dave has looked at in quite a long time. Well, since we've been watching at least. John's got a king. 45,000 to call. Anybody would call with king 3. It's John.
I think this is probably a call. I mean, Dave's supposed to shove all of his 10-8s and all this kind of stuff, so king high might be good here sometimes. And these are the weird tournament spots when everybody's short.
50-50 flip. John is slightly ahead here with the king high. See what happens.
I can't believe 10-8 has that much equity. I would have guessed it had less.
No, 48%, according to the table, which is never wrong. 9-3-3. Dave's going to need a little bit of help. Nope, that's no good. 2 threes in the flop means John wins. When it's going good, it's going good.
Just like that. Dave will take a nice 500, though.
Yeah. Free money. It's what free roll definition is. Dan's our short stack now with 105,000. 8 big blinds left.
Dave's one of those guys. He's like, I don't want to log hours. And I'm like, Dave, you come
all the time.
Just give him your last 4
hours.
And then he's like, all right. Next month, he makes it. It's like,
what do you know?
What do you know?
What do you know, folks? Dead button here.
The ghost is out. Over to Lance. King Jack. This should be an open. 25K incoming. Ooh, he's going up to 30K. Okay.
55. Mixing up the play a little bit.
All right. That's interesting.
Gonna get it through. Nobody else is calling. Well, it worked. I don't hate it. If it works, don't hate it.
So you get 3 bet.
It's like my dad says, don't sweat the putts that you make. Yeah. They just leak in. You made it. Don't worry about it.
Lance, clearly the most aggressive player.
Yep.
Foodie's probably texting me right now.
Hey, Brandon. Still in. Got a big chip stack. Feeling good.
Might be chip leader.
Starting to book my flight to Vegas. Don't count your chickens till they hatch. That's what my mom always said. I don't know if she ever actually said that, but
I've never heard her say that.
Quality of hands have been quite slow here to start.
Yeah. I mean, really no premiums beside Brian's 10s.
Mm-hmm. Which were good.
Yeah. Easy peasy for John's ace-7. Shows an ace. Like, hey, I'm not bluffing here.
I got some hands occasionally, folks.
It is ace-7, John. You're not fooling me. All right, quick little 14 hands in, 15 minutes in. Hand a minute.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Not great if you're Dan. You only got 7 big blinds.
No.
I'd like to sweat it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Premium hand incoming. Ace Queen from Ben. Ooh, King 10 for Brian. Raises to 25K. Let's see what Ben's going to do here.
So when you look at all the hands, you just look for the best one and then start talking about that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like going to the bar and find the hottest girl. I don't talk about the middle girls.
You don't talk about, like, I talk about the first girl you see when you walk in. It's like it's on the first.
No,
you're just
right to the hot one.
Okay.
All right, Brian is the original aggressor of this one. He might be able to take this hand away. 15 might not do it.
This is what they call a little downsize in the tournament world.
Ben's going to see a turn here. He thinks he's behind. Brian wants to win this hand. He's going to have to fire another bet.
So this is the advantage of, I'm air quoting, downsizing is you get weak hands to put in chips and try and catch up. I mean, obviously Ben's good in this situation, but Ben doesn't know he's good. Brian is representing that, and there you go. See, like, this is what happens. And then not only did Brian won an extra $15,000 on the flop because ace high continued, where if Brian just bets 50K off the rip, Ben just folds on the flop, and you don't get that little bit of extra juice. All right, Brian and Lance at the top. John
Brian
right
back
behind.
on top by 2,000. John is right there with him at 390, and then you got Ben at 180. Dan, bottom of the barrel.
Ben's still fine.
80K. Oh, yeah, Ben's fine.
Dan's not fine.
Dan's got 6s,
but
though.
But Dan's all in. Okay.
Just calling. Little set mining. Too bad all of his 6s are gone.
Are they?
Yep.
Oh, man. This is the problem with just seeing a flop here is, like,
you
don't get to see any more than 3 cards. And there's not really many good flops. And that's actually one of them.
Yeah, Jack 3-4, 2 unders. Check around. Board pairs on the oh nope, 2 on the turn. Now he's got a 5 out.
Yeah, and he's already good. Brian's gonna try and take this one away. Come on, Dan, stuff it in on him.
He's gonna see it.
Okay.
He's not buying. Brian needs it.
Oh, a 5. Oh, a opportunity.
Oh no, Dan can't even win the good ones. Now they're both hip hopping and arraying.
They're both like, yay! Certainly they have an ace. 6, 2 6s.
Chop it up. What are you counting those down for, Sal?
He's dumb.
Got lucky.
Brian got lucky.
He did.
Went to showdown. Dan, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
When he's in the hand, he's in it the whole way, folks.
1 for 1.
1 for 1. And he's even.
Yep.
Happy to chop John's money up anytime.
A little unfortunate for Dan to hit the straight there, the gutter ball. I know in his mind he was probably thinking 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
But in reality, he was like, no.
No.
Yeah. All right, 6, 12, 6 now. We're down to 5-handed, so the small blind ante.
The ante gets halved. Do they do it at the World Series like that now? Or do they still do this the same? They don't discount the blinds. I know that was a point of contention. It was also a point of contention if the ante was posted first or the big blind. Originally, it was the ante was posted first, but I think now they have reversed that, and now it's the big blind that gets posted first. Correct?
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of.
Me neither.
John with 5s versus Lance, who raised with the Queen 10 suited. I get in trouble with the big card suited. Looks like a 10 on the flop.
Because the flop's exactly like this.
Mm-hmm. You flop middle pair, you flop right in the middle, catch a little piece of it. He doesn't know he's got John dominated to just a 5.
Yep, he doesn't know if he's way ahead, way behind.
Check. John's probably going to check again. 40K.
I don't think Lance can fold just yet.
No, he's going to see one more. He's got the chips to chirp with. River is an 8. Kind of a straighty card. Not
Probably
really.
Go check. Showdown.
It does. Do you show the 5s there?
No.
Yeah, right? Never show the 5s. Lance back on top. 560K. John down to 286. Ben at 180. And Dan just shy of 100K. I like Dan's odds, though. I feel like Dan just needs... is at that point of the tournament where you need to catch some cards.
Yeah. All right, Dan, 83 in the muck.
Yeah,
Lance, 5s. Let's see if he's going to go with... what kind of sizing he's going to go with here. I really don't know. He's gone 2x. He's gone 5x.
See if he just limps. You can fold him, too.
And he limps. Okay. And
John get jiggy with the 10 deuce.
If
If that's not a cash game play, then I don't know what is. Ben's along 2. Hearts are no good for John. Queen 6-7 on the flop. Ben flops a 6, which is the best hand currently. 30K. John's out of there. Ben's out of there. That's kind of the problem with King 6. Even when you flop bottom pair, it's hard to know that you're...
Yeah, he was in the big blind.
Dominated. Oh, is it limped?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, take it back, Ben. My bad. My bad, Ben. Ben's another guy who's made the free roll both years. I think John was our runner-up last year.
Yeah, John got
I forgot about that.
John
So
got
we
second
talked a
last
big
year.
game about Joel being our main event winner from 2022. John was the bubble boy, which in this tournament last year, that was
good.
rough.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, it's such a bubble because I think second place was like 2,500.
Yes, it was.
And it's 11.5 seat for the other one. I mean, it's a big bubble. Lance fired again. He's just on all cylinders right now. John with the big ace suited.
Ben King 10. Dan checks. Diamonds are no good for Dan.
You're going to need some middling cards.
Yeah.
Give him something.
There's some middling cards, and somehow he still has nothing.
Yeah. Jeez.
Top pair for Ben.
Top pair, pretty good kicker. Backdoor flush draw. First act, though.
Neither. Check. Lance bet. And then Ben calls.
Turns a hook.
Check.
Queen on the river.
Pretty bad runoff for Ben.
It is. But he's still good.
I mean, bad runoff for Lance too, but he had no interest in trying to bluff.
Firing any bets there. Lance is our big winner so far. Along with Brian, they're the only two that have really accumulated any chips in these last 2 knockouts. Ben's lost a little. Dan's lost, I mean, not much. I guess it's almost half his chips, but he didn't start with nine.
Relative to the blinds, not much.
Yeah, 4 blinds.
Yeah, maybe. I said it at the beginning.
Ace King now for Lance. 8s for
He's
Ben.
literally last.
I like to save the best hands. We just talked about this. Maybe I'll change that and see how it goes.
Okay, now we can talk about Lance.
Okay, Lance with Ace King. Folds around to him. Brian raised.
Wow, sneaky.
Yeah, that's difficult. Brian is 3rd best here in the one opening. King 7-4. Ace King comes through. Check. 8's gonna check. Half an 8 coming out on the turn.
25. Bet.
3 is half of an 8.
I see.
Yeah. Not like mathematically. Visually.
I see.
25 Ben called.
Lance
All right,
is
Lance,
good. He
it
might
is
get a- he might get a
officially
call.
time to start betting with top pair, top kicker with one of the best hands in Hold'em.
You bet the turn.
And a call from Ben.
Did he?
Yeah, 25, Ben called. Kind of a bad run out for Ben. The only thing you can't beat is a king. You kind of feel like maybe it would have been a raise pre-flop. I don't dislike that play at all. Just an unfortunate spot for Ben to be in. Down to 10 big blinds. 5 minutes left in this level. 4, actually.
Lance, 700K.
Where do they go to up next? 8-16?
816.
Killing on popcorn.
All right. Actions on John.
A little slow from the production side.
That's okay. Now we can go in order. Dan limps the button with the king 4. Just trying to get something going. Lance, another decent playable hand for Lance.
Yeah, I feel like he just had 5s a few hands ago. Raises this time, 45,000. Trying to get Dan to put some chips in. Dan's got 63. He's got 30. Half of his chips to call. I feel like it's either all or nothing here.
Stop and go.
Yeah, see a flop.
Catch a piece of anything and put the rest in. Get ace 8-7 and you save half your chips. Maybe.
Check, check. 10 on the turn. 5s are still good. Lance isn't going to let him see a free river card. Dan chucks him faster than a frisbee on Ultimate Frisbee Field Day. No. No.
I'll just let you fail that. I wasn't even going to come in and help.
2 big blinds left for Dan, and that button is coming around. Actually, he's got 1 free hand. 2 free hands.
Yeah.
He's going to need to find a spot here. Do you base your picks here being that you know you have 3 hands left before you're the big blind and you're forced to do it?
Yeah.
So you get pretty wide range here?
Yes, massive. Folds to Brian, King Jack. Gonna raise. Maybe 30.
John, though. Not a great spot for Brian to be in with John to his direct left, which makes it tough, I believe. John's a tough player.
Okay. Putting chips in with 5-3 off.
Yeah,
Gotta like that
he
for
gets some loose calls, and sometimes they work out.
And now this is just like an automatic just bet from Brian and just take it down like every single time. 15K winner. That's just straight range advantage. Literally Brian's 2 cards don't matter.
11-5 to top 2 spots. 1K, 1K. So we're on a slight money bubble here.
Yep.
Next guy out loses a nickel.
Right? There's typically some guard in between it. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, it's this hand or next hand, Dan. So
Good luck.
yeah.
Give him a face card. Do you peel 1 and then just
any jack or better? You're just in
pull
there.
1 and see what happens? Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Queen
right.
Jack! Get it in there, Danny boy.
30,500.
I mean, it's not enough to scare anybody, but Lance is down. Brian's thinking about it for a second. He's down. John don't fold. 35, 53. All right.
Ben can't even do it. He hates it.
Dan isolates. He's got a 60-40 flip here. It's looking good. It's against John, though. Luckiest man alive.
You know, I understand.
10-10-8.
Wow.
5 on the turn. John is victorious again.
It's amazing that you just can hit a 5-outer or 6-outer like that and then just fade 9, 8, Queen Jack, all of them. 4 and 3 and 3 and 3 is 13. Hit 6 and then fade 13.
Down to 4. Ben's at 9 big blinds, but that's about to go down in 6 seconds. When the blinds go up, you got 1 hand of 9 blinds.
At least
Blinds are now
going up
8-16.
on Ben's button.
Blinds will be up next hand. It'll be 8-16 with an 8. No, next hand, next hand. John takes a 30. That's full.
30 from John. Everybody mucks. We don't need to see the cards. John actually had a hand that time.
Yeah, he's clean.
He's like, show those cards. I need to show them that I have some.
And now we're at 816.
816 now. 6,000. Oh no, 816 with an 8,000 ante.
So we got 7,531 in the chip counts. 200K between all the stacks.
Yeah. Lance is accumulating some chips here. It's his tournament to lose right now. Do you think like that?
Top 2, though, getting the same payout is a little funky.
Yeah.
Heads up is winning. All right, Brian with 8s. Wanted some action there. Gets none. Clearly, Lance and John have been the most aggressive here. Ben's just waiting for a spot. But, you know, he's been in these tournaments plenty of times before and knows these spots probably better than most. And speaking of a spot,
He is also, we are down to 2 cash game players, 2 tournament players. Lance and Ben, tournament side. Brian and John, cash game guys.
deuces for 8 bigs, 7 bigs. Clearly an all-in. Brian, 20% of your chip stack here with John behind. Just get rid of it. John mucks. Take it down.
By himself, do you think you see a call there?
No, I
Even
think Queen
still,
4 might be a little bit too light. I think.
you're worried about your 4 then, right? Anything 5s or better.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in trouble.
I mean, obviously, up against deuces, you love it, but
Yeah, it's because
you don't know that.
You don't know that.
that's the reason why it's not more.
Ben can make it another orbit now. Picks up the blinds to survive another orbit.
It's not ideal, but it's not.
All right. Man, you just can't keep up. It really is fast, though.
Yeah, this is going quick.
No, 16.
All right, so Lance is opening. Oh, nope. He is calling 16.
So that's what I want to clarify. 43. Raise to 43 from past brothers.
Brian gonna open the King 10 off on the button. He knows John's playing kind of tight. Ben's kind of all in her folds, and Lance is limping and stuff. So take your button with the King 10 and go to a flop.
60-40, Lance's advantage.
But without an ace on the flop, I mean, this is Brian's hand to win.
And he flopped king anyways. Check, bet, more than likely.
He's gonna go down though again. He's been going down. I'm gonna say like 40, even 35. Look at how small little wagers.
33.
28, 33, whatever. Takes it down.
23.
Small bets are
Past brothers once again.
key in 2023 tournament poker.
I don't do that enough. I need to implement my
I think bet
downsizing.
sizing is like
You know, it's funny.
the easiest way to get better.
I do it in Omaha. In my Omaha tournaments, I definitely do it. Like, I'll bet pot pre-flop, and then I'll kind of whiff a little bit, or maybe not get the flop that I'm looking for, or I didn't massively get hit in the face in the deck with it, and I'll downsize. And I feel like I like that play, and I don't implement that at all.
Lance
when I
gets a
play the
walk
limit.
there. Yeah.
I like the fact of saying the best way to get better is to work on your bet sizing.
It is. It probably is. I mean, everybody kind of understands like ranges and stuff now, and then it's like the next step is like, well, what do you bet with all those ranges?
Right.
And how do you get the most out of those ranges from different bet sizings?
That's a lot to think about,
It
Brandon.
is. I know. This is why I'm no good at hold'em. This is why.
Brian with 10s again. Benny getting in there with an ace. All in, 106,000. Going to be a fold from Lance, unless I'm crazy.
No, he's just putting on the change.
Okay. He just put out the wrong amount. You only owe 8. 8 there, Lance. He's out. 10s versus ace 3. Gotta like the 10s in this situation. 70-30.
Yeah. 7 out of 10 times I like the 10s.
Mm-hmm. It's a 3 out of 10 that get you.
Yeah.
Let's see if Ben can make some magic happen.
It's jack of clubs, 3 diamonds, 5 spades.
I thought to 3.
Flop to 3. Turns to jack. Gonna need a 3 or an ace here on the river.
5 outs, 1 shot. King ball.
10s are good. Brian should just play 10s all the time.
Yeah. Ben did get the nice little ladder there for 1,000.
He did. Free $500.
I mean...
All right, you got John at 270 and Brian and Lance both even at 670 and change. Right now, you're pick to click. Top 2.
Lance is for sure. He's played pretty solid. I mean, Brian's had 10s twice, but... I think the weird thing here is... Lance needs to attack Brian, and Brian needs to attack Lance, and you wouldn't. That's like unconventional thinking in this spot, right?
Right.
Because you would think like, oh, attack the short side. Well, the short side literally has nothing to lose right now.
Yep.
Literally,
it's John.
0 things to lose.
You can't put John on a range in any way, shape, or form.
So like, bossing around John doesn't really do you any good.
You can't lean on him with your chip stack.
Right. Lance can only really lean on Brian, and Brian can only lean on Lance, and Lance has Brian's left, Brian has Lance's left, so it's kind of Brian's opportunity to, take over the table captain from Brian. Like, I'm probably opening all my buttons here. I'm not even looking. I mean, I'm looking, but...
John with the big hand. Brian with the mystery hand here. 9-8.
And again, this is what Brian should be doing. Obviously, it's just unlucky here that John actually picks up something. But
right.
This is a play more at Lance.
At least John lets him know right away, right?
Yep.
Don't think we're going to see another call out of there.
And that's perfectly fine. Brian's okay with that. You do that 2 more times, you're going to probably get muck and make those chips back.
Surprisingly enough, John is the lowest aggression frequency, which you would not peg for these players in general.
Yeah. Still kind of a small sample, but I mean, 30 hands.
Yeah.
But still. I mean, Lance has been opening a lot.
Now we see the old gears changing here for Johnny the Aggressor. And
again, in a normal tournament, Lance would be like, well, maybe I can just 3-bet him here and get him off whatever his button open is because he's the shorty. But in this situation, it's like, I'm out on pots against John here. Worst thing you can do is double up John.
Yeah. Again, it's a huge bubble. You're talking about
And this is exactly what... I mean, Brian loves to see this.
I mean, this is a $10,000 bubble.
Yeah. And this is exactly what Brian wants to see. Lance versus John.
Flops an open ender for Lance. John's just got his ace. 50-50 right now with Lance as actually the 1% victor here.
Yep. The 10s and the 9s are good too.
He bets it out. John folds. Kiss from the wife. Need those every once in a while.
She drove last year and then sat in the audience section last year and
pretty awesome.
Rooted him to a second place finish.
Can't believe John has a chance here to bubble twice on the main event seats.
Yeah,
that would be detrimental. He's got cards though right now. He's got the cards at the right time.
Yep. And again, this is Spotify Brian. I'm just mucking. Yep.
Throw your chips. John wasn't happy. He wanted to see some more there.
He did.
Lines are flat around. 8,000, 16,000.
So this is why, again, I love Brian's button spot here because he can just basically blindly open, get rid of John, and then play against Lance in position where Lance has to be extremely careful.
Yep.
Because Lance doesn't want to give,
doesn't want to lose a big pot to Brian.
Doesn't want to lose a big pot to get Brian and be down to the John situation where Brian can just go all in their hand. So again, we're going to see Brian open Jack 9.
35.
You got John out of there. And again, Brian's dominated here, but this isn't as terrible as the statistics are saying.
Because of the position.
Because of the position. Okay. Lance should be checking. Brian should be betting. And this is music to Brian's ears.
Yeah.
And that's the formula.
Another downsized bet and another pot won by Brian.
And again, even if Lance was to...
look him up.
Yeah, or, put some resistance with a raise. I mean, it cost Brian $20K. But now he's raking in 106K pot and profiting 50K in chips. So those 20K little bets, it's beyond
a good beneficial.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. Brian and Lance not showing down much. I believe the internet guys called it the red line.
That's the red line?
Yeah, the pots that you win without showing down.
All right, John with an ace.
All right, this is a weird spot.
Raises to 40. Lance is out of there. Brian's looking like, I love king queen, but think he's thinking raise here?
Well, I think his instinct is to raise, and then he's realizing the situation and he might call. But that works too.
That's a table knock from me. Good bet. It's 2 big pots in a row. I mean, I know they're not big pots, but you didn't have to show anything. You didn't have to see much. You didn't risk a whole bunch of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he took the profit he got from the hand previous, put it out there, and got John to fold an ace. I would say right now the other two probably have Brian on a pretty tight image.
Yeah, decently. I mean, he's showing down 10s. He's been folding. But
when he gets into pots, he's betting it.
All right, Brian, just muck this again. I know it's Jack 7. I know you should never muck this in real tournaments.
I'm just for 35.
All right, little raise, 35.
This might be an all-in from John, and then Brian's going to get away cheap.
All in from John with the 9s. Yeah.
See, if it goes Dan, if you're watching, this is why you got to just shove. Because it's unexploitable. You can see all 5 cards when Dan hit the 6s and let that 8-6 catch up. All right. But again, you know, John's picking up 9s and really doesn't have much to show for it. And he got an open. And still. All right.
On to the next hand.
This is Brian's button. You know, I said he should be opening buttons. He's 3 for 3 in opening buttons.
It's good. 35 again.
Brandon approved.
King 10, looking pretty. Folds around. All right, just keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's an easy game.
I'm folding all my small blinds to John.
Everybody's been aware of this table so far except John. John's just kind of floating about what he started the game
just
with.
Chilling.
But you go from 7 to 3 and you still got the same chip stack and you played 35 some odd hands.
You got to be taking down some pots to pay for those blinds.
Pretty good.
I'm nervous.
All right. John's out with the Jack 3 suited. Around to Lance with Queen 4. Brian's got him super dominated on kickers and suits.
And suits and kickers and everything.
Be a good name for if like the Live Tour started like a poker.
That's what they're called.
Suits and kickers.
Suits and kickers. Thought you were gonna.
No, that's all I got.
Okay.
Well,
there's some
2
suits.
spades.
So Lance says, "Screw your suits, screw your kickers. I got a pair.
I got a 4.
I got a 4."
Brian's
right.
gonna see a turn. I don't hate it.
Oh,
Gonna turn something here.
Cheap. Well,
4 is not the card you want to see. It's worse for Brian because it's less likely that Lance has a 4. I guess you still couldn't beat a pair anyways. You still lose to a 6.
yeah, I guess all the 6s and aces now feel comfortable and are betting again, and you can just release them.
Unbeknownst to Brian, he had a 4.
I'll give Brian a shout out right now. I'm sweating his boy Xander in the U.S. Open.
Oh, nice. I was watching a little bit on the website.
You know,
USOpen.com.
I bet Xander to win top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20.
Oh boy.
To be the leader in the end of the first round.
Oh wow.
26-1. Good old Ricky Fowler's in the lead. 5 under.
Is it really?
Xander's in second, 4 under.
That's unlikely.
I know. All right, back to the poker. Jack 5 for Lance. I feel like Lance has been getting pushed around here, but he hasn't really lost any chips. Okay, Brian's going to open the 9-8 of hearts. John's going to continue with the 8-7 of spades. Brian has him dominated. Open ender for John. Nut gut for Brian. Brian checks. John's going to bet his draws. Give himself 2 chances to win. Take it down. Or hit your hand.
50K into Brian.
Brian's going to float. Looking for some hearts, some 10s, some 7s. Okay.
Got a 10. Now he's open-ended. Seven or a queen. Got him dominated right now, but John just snap all ins.
I mean, obviously, Brian never thinks his 9 high's good.
No.
Got to do a little bit of quick math. Assuming your 9s and 8s aren't good, that gives you 8 ounce only. If you're in Brian's situation and not knowing that John is, semi-bluffing here. He does give it up, and John bets his draw twice and, gets a better hand.
If it's the 10 of hearts, does Brian call at that point?
Yeah. Well, that gives you 9 more outs. And there's a nice one for John.
Yeah, 370, 530, 714. Getting a lot closer, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You got another. You got that, and you got an orange. I didn't have it.
Now you kind of see what I'm saying about playing pots against.
Man that has nothing to lose is a difficult man to play against.
Yeah. All right, Brian's going to fold a button. And John's just going to release.
Yep.
Somebody forgot their drill, so the chips are sticking in the table.
That's true.
100,000 chip on the yellow one.
Yep, I see the yellow one.
All right, $10,500 bubble.
Oh, what's your boy do? Shoffley? You know where he is?
Second.
Yeah, 4 under with the back 9 to play.
Yeah, Fowler just birdied another one, man. 6
Oh, he's through 12. Yeah, but he's notorious.
Yeah, I need him to put
for
one in the water.
big numbers.
He
got a 6 or a 7 in him.
Okay.
For sure.
In the first round?
100%.
Okay.
He makes like 6 birdies and like 2 doubles. You know?
To go 200.
Yeah. Which is a great U.S. Open score. Happy Father's Day to everybody who's watching it this weekend. No event on Sunday, so I'm sure this will be a popular viewing pleasure between this and the U.S. Open. So good luck to the U.S. Open players, and we'll be out in Vegas hopefully next week, right?
I'm going. I'm leaving.
That's the plan.
I'm leaving on Saturday. I don't know about you.
I'm working on it. I'm still trying to get my shit together. I'm trying to talk myself out of this tournament again. I've been thinking about it for a year.
Yep.
And I'm trying to talk my way out of it, but I got to pull the trigger.
I mean, just do it.
Yeah, I just do it. Do it.
And I mean, I'm sure with your stellar PLO background,
I'm not going to lie.
you can probably sell off that action, too.
I want to sell off the action.
Well, you got, I mean, mark them up.
I am 4 out of 5.
I know. See, there you go. If you're
Literally,
listening,
I've played 5 PLO tournaments. I've only not cashed
$120 get you 1% of Kenny.
All right. Hit me up in
There
the
you
comments, folks.
You want 10%? 12 hundies.
It's not bad.
I know.
And I'm probably just going to rip it into a Wheel of Fortune machine anyways.
Do
they get 20% of my Wheel of Fortune play?
No, real poker pros. I need that for travel and food.
Nah, I need it for Wheel of Fortune. All right, ace-5 for Brian versus the 8-6. He's good right now, but John's got an open ender.
Yep, flop the gutter. This is literally the exact hand that Brian had against John, except for John gets to see a river for a lot cheaper. Great river for Brian. I wonder if he's going to bet for value here, try and get 4s and 3s and all that kind of stuff.
You give a call.
Yeah, you just open yourself up.
What do you like, 40?
What's the 118? Yeah, 40's great.
35 is what he bet. Pretty good bet by me. See, my bet sizing is already getting better.
Here's what I'm saying. You open yourself up to getting raised. However, think about this, Brian. What is he representing? Check flop. Probably takes the 10s out.
Small bet on the turn.
Which John just called.
Bets 35 into him on the river and gets raised. What is he actually raising with?
Right, after everything misses. I mean, if you think through this line, and I know we can see John's cards, but
yeah, it's a lot easier.
This is pretty bluffy, right?
It smells fishy.
I mean, John should never really have a 10. So you kind of have to say he doesn't have 10s. Okay, now what beats me?
6-7?
Because this line, John would never have a 10. He wouldn't check back the flop, flat the turn, raise the river.
No.
And here's the problem with going with thin value with ace-5 of spades, especially against someone like John with nothing to lose. If it was Lance in that spot, you would maybe think, all right, he's got to probably have it.
Right.
But with it's John and he needs to make up chips and, you know, getting third place basically gets him nothing. I'll take a raise. I'll take a shot. I got nothing. I got 8 high.
Just like that, Brian is our bottom stack now at 419. John has essentially doubled up to 440. Lance is just chilling with monster cards. John King 9 could be in trouble here versus the Ace Queen. I know John loves the look of that.
I wonder if Lance is going to finally spring a 3-bet here. He's been playing these big aces slow, and he's going to continue.
Yeah.
It pains me to see, you know, a good player get away with a bad bluff.
All right, he outflops him here.
Okay. It's much easier to play King 9. And this is why we need a 3-bet our Ace Queens.
Don't know if the 3-bet would have got through, though.
You don't? You think if just Lance just makes it 150K?
105, yeah. Oh, 150, I think for sure. I don't think we see. You're right. I don't think
105? 65K more? You think John's just coming along? Maybe.
Maybe
Out of
not.
position? Probably not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. VPIP's getting back to normal here. Everybody's about the same.
Yeah, three-handed really drives those percentages up very quickly.
We've seen the cards get better here, too.
We have a lot more aces, a lot more...
Big cards, a lot of suited connectors, some very playable hands. Looks like 40K from John with an ace. Best hand. Chuck. Shows an ace. Or an 8. Don't know which one he showed.
Probably the ace.
Knowing John, could be an 8. Just flashes an 8. Brian's going the wrong way, and John now is almost our chip leader. He's closer than he's ever been.
The only thing you were trying to show is a little credibility.
Wow, 4 straight birdies for Ricky.
Is it really?
He's hot.
Down to 7?
No. That's... But he started on the back 9, and he just went front 9. Birdie. Par 5, par 4, par 4.
If that happens,
All right, Lance under the gun, Jack 10 of diamonds, which is also the button in this situation. Brian's out of the Queen 4. John is probably giving up his money with the, with the 7-5. So it's interesting. Lance is kind of chilled while John and Brian have kind of switched places, which does change the whole dynamic and every bit of strategy that Lance has going on with him. But all right, under the gun, Brian's out of there. John is gonna limp an ace this time. Little crafty.
See if you can get that bet out of Lance here. Just a check.
He's got him dominated. Knowing John will just flop an 8.
Check.
Nope. King, Jack.
16 to go.
Lance is going to try and buy it. John's a non-believer with ace high, which is still going to be good here a lot of the time. Another king. Great card for John. He's going to check. Lance is going to check back. Wonder if he's going to give up. John's probably going to check, call the river, I would assume. With ace high here, Lance is deciding.
Yeah, you're really...
72K,
yeah.
Screw it, I'll give up.
And John rightfully just showdown value there, right? Just get it out of there, take your winner, go to the next hand.
Oh, man, this is going to be a nice sweat. Xander also goes birdie.
Ooh.
6 under, 5 under. These are kind of good scores for US Open, right?
Especially for that golf course, because that golf course looked really tough.
Okay, John on the button with 9 deuce off. He's out. Let's see what happens with Lance here, knowing that Brian is now the short stack.
Let's run it.
And Brian checks. No need to unnecessarily blow pots here with 10-7. Especially when
Trip
you're on
tens.
trips.
See if he can get any. Oh, he's
All
getting
right, so
a little value.
This is 2 hands in a row that Lance has completely whiffed the flop and then just min bet trying to take it down. Both times he gets looked up.
He also comes around when we have a bigger tournament.
Check. Bad turn for Foodie. but still not terrible. He's got a full house. It's three-handed. This is going to be a bet for our Lance and an insta call from Foodie. I don't think raising does much. Lance is never going to call you with ace high here. He's not the type of player to make hero
Jack's
calls.
kind of a shitty turn, though, huh?
It is, but I mean, okay, he is going for the raise. And I ask Brian here, what are you trying to get to call? Nothing.
So the idea is, why bet it if it's...
You're going to get looked up by a jack and nothing else. So why bet? Or why raise? Lance being the player that we're playing against here. I mean, you know, someone like John or somebody else that, you know, might be thinking that you're bluffing and then, you know, hero call with ace or king high. But on a $10,000 bubble, Lance is the chip leader. I don't think he's going to be screwing around. Definitely not screwing around with this hand. A couple aces. Ace 10 for John. This is a hand where if John still had 250K, the tournament would be over. But because John's got 524, he is not going to be eliminated this hand.
Wow.
All right, Foodie's coming along here with the queen 5 of clubs.
Check.
Flop of the top pair.
John with a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. Lance is still looking pretty with his aces. Bet 75. Quick call from Brian over to John, who's thinking, what just happened here? This is the largest bet we've seen in, or the largest pot we've seen in a half an hour.
Wow, John drills it.
Yep.
And it's a diamond. Check,
and it's a royal flush draw. Foodie hits 2 pair on the river.
Wow, this is gross.
Uh-huh. I don't like the check back from Lance on the turn, and it got him there, so it looks like Brian's going to bet into him 100,000 even. Leaves him with 224 behind. Lance, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Counting out some chips, get a chip count.
This is weird for Brian because if he gets raised, he's in no man's land. Can't really beat anything that Lance is raising here besides aces. Lance is trying to end the tournament here with a pair of aces, it looks like. Thinking he's good, obviously.
Fires out 250. A raise of 150,000 would leave Brian with 75K. Death's doornail. This is why it's hard to bet. I mean, I don't know if he checks and calls.
Yeah, just check call, I would think, right? Check Lance.
But what if he checks and bets 150? I guess does it change?
Well, then you call, yeah, because he's already got 100 out there. If he's willing to bet 100, he's willing to call 150, right?
That's a good point.
Actually, if he's willing, yeah. So this is a weird spot. Brian loses to every value hand. Queens, kings, jacks, 10-9, ace-10, queen-jack, king-queen, king-jack. Nothing really missed. Snap check back on the turn seems a little
weird.
Yeah. It's crazy because I think that Lance's check back on the turn, which I would think is kind of a misplay, is going to end up making him more money.
Out. Yeah.
I mean, that's assuming Brian folds, but I assume Brian wouldn't tank this long and call. I mean, Brian's loving life, or not Brian. John. John's like, whatever, do something. I'm good either way. Yep. All right, he does give it up. So Lance there was shoving for Val. Like, I don't know. That's a weird hand. It's a goofy hand. Brian value bet the river, put himself in a terrible spot. I guess Brian is thinking even if Lance has aces, he probably isn't raising here, so he's only raising with 2 pairs or better.
Yep.
I mean, Lance is kind of over-repped there. Brian's kind of under-repped. And,
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, Brian's got 225.
The roles have reversed. You got Lance at almost 900K, John's at that $500,000, and Brian's now at 225.
And all of a sudden, he's put in another kind of weird spot here. He's got, what, 15, 14 bigs with King Jack? He's just going to raise off of 15 bigs with King Jack.
John's out over to Lance, 19,000 to call. With that chip stack, he's probably going to see a flop.
I agree.
Dominated, though.
I guess whenever he got that close. After the stand.
Brian, the recheck. Not quite sure I like the recheck there.
The recheck of the cards?
Yeah.
That's a thing they do these days. Once they go to the flop, they recheck.
Deuce, deuce, 4 on the flop.
Once
Checking
again,
it back. No, downsizer. 20K, a call.
Lance has got, like,
Lance
I got
is
$1 million in
floating.
chips now.
Ugh.
Wow, that's kind of gross.
That's super sick.
50.
And then fires in 50 and just chuck them. Just down to 2 outs, 3 outs.
Take a 5 minutes.
Can't get there.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little rebound pot from Brian.
You did great.
Took a small break there. That was the
Marty coming in clutch.
switchy switch. Thanks, Marty, for the flippy flop.
All right. John on the button.
With forwards, what's he gonna do? He's got a short stack behind him at 132K now.
See, now this is a spot where I'm John. You just have perfectly 500K. I'm just mucking everything and letting Lance either double Brian up,
Eat him up or, yeah, spit him out.
double him up, and then I'll start playing again, or knock him out and let's end this thing.
John doesn't lay down, folks. He bets 80K into this pot. Brian gives up the King 10. That would have been an all-in or nothing there.
Yeah.
So do you want to go with King 10, especially knowing that he raised under the gun with... I mean, you really don't think he's got 4s there. It's a hell of a bet by John. 6 big blinds left for Brian. He's going to need a miracle. Maybe not a miracle, he's just going to need some hands.
It's crazy that Brian rivered the 2-pair, and then that's what got him in this terrible spot. Rivered 2-pair to be good.
Yeah.
To
If
find
any
a double
point
up.
in life he wished he would have just mucked the Queen 5, it was that hand.
Yeah.
Because he never would have been involved, and we never would have seen the turn of the river.
And then, to be honest, John might have floated the flop there with Queen Jack, turned the Nutter Butters, and then doubled off of Lance.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger.
Which would have been a whole different
Completely,
ballgame.
well, the whole, yeah, I mean, literally the chips are completely
all
jumbled.
reversed, yeah.
Lance would be in Brian's spot, Brian would be in John's spot, and John would be in Lance's spot,
Right.
and everybody would be. All right, and if I'm John here, I'm just mugging, but we're content on, playing for the chips out there. I mean, I get it, you can't just fold your way to a win. However, you kind of want to let Brian make the first move here.
Yeah, you're just going to kind of wait and see. Lance flops a deuce here. Lance has been the flop machine. 20K and a call. Some min bet. 8 on the turn.
And again, not a fan of Brian, I keep saying Brian. John putting in more chips here.
Check, 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 check. Deuce is good. Brian wishes that went to showdown number was a little bit higher. It's so mean. Yeah. The good thing when they're regulars, I like to comment on them because I can say that in all fairness and be perfectly okay with it.
Yeah.
Brian is a hell of a poker player. He played really well. He got unfortunate a few times. He got out-pipped like that Queen Jack, King Jack. That was an unfortunate turn.
Yeah.
Any other turn card comes, he wins the very next pot, accumulates a little bit more chips, and now he's not in a desperate mode.
It's kind of crazy. 2 times he went for thin value on the river, and 2 times he got raised.
Yep.
And he had him beat both times and folded both times.
One was a 9 high though, so
No. I'm talking about the Ace-5 when John missed Ace-5 of spades. He went for thin value with top 2 pair.
did
top
it with the
kicker.
9 too. Meaning he bet out, John raised, went all in with.
Yeah, he folded another winner there. Yeah.
One of those times you wish you were a worse player.
Yeah.
You'd be in a better position.
Calls 20. All in.
Brian with 5s.
Okay.
This could be it, folks.
Lance is going to take it even though he doesn't love it. Oh, he folds?
No, he's thinking. Getting a count. Wants to know if the numbers are right, but it's only 92K more or 92 all day.
72 more to end the tournament.
There's really no way he's not calling here. I don't care what 2 cards. I don't even look.
Yeah.
I just call. You've given a lot more thought than I would have given it. Again, Brian's table image is so good that I feel like...
Well, like Lance knows he's, quote, beat here. He just,
100%. He's ecstatic
that it's a race.
That it's 54-46.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Brian's life is on the line. Will he bubble? Will he not? I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh man, Lance's sunglasses are off.
Oh,
and
his
he's
sunglasses
standing.
are on. He's fixing his pockets.
Getting ready for the victory picture.
All right, you just got to fade the flop, kid. Fade the flop, kid, and you're good. Fade the flop. Turn a river, never get there. Nope. You can tell by Brian's face that's an 8 on the flop.
8 in the window.
Queen on the turn. 5 in a river. Boom. That's it, folks. We've got 2 winners here.
Wow.
John and Lance, 2 regular players. 1 cash game, 1 tournament side. So
Yeah.
pretty even split there. They're both going to Vegas on CCG. Should be a good time. Brian makes the walk of shame.
Yeah.
A $10,000 walk of shame.
Brian's going to Vegas too. He's just going with
He's going to
1,000.
go a little bit different. There's your winner, folks. Lance and John, congratulations. That was 6 months in the making. We're extremely excited to see them play in Vegas. Brandon and I will be out there. Watch us on Twitter. You can see it at CCG Poker. We're going to do the Twitter takeover when Brandon and I play. Hopefully this PLO championship.
I'm
you guys
playing.
pay for it?
I'm playing.
You want to get 1 point, markups 1.2 for Ken right now. I am 4 out of 5 for tournaments. One of them, I won half the money in play. See you next time, everybody.
Farewell.